I am Ethan Johnson, born with the holy body that brings fortune to his wife. After marrying me, my wife Sophia Taylor, who had been paralyzed in a car accident, not only got out of her wheelchair and stood up again, but her career also took off. In less than half a year, she founded her own company. On the day the company went public, Sophia smiled and said she would give me a big gift at the celebration banquet. I was full of anticipation, thinking she was finally going to keep her promise and have a child with me. But at the celebration, she clasped hands tightly with her male subordinate Ryan Parker, publicly announced their relationship, and tossed me a divorce agreement, her tone icy. Ethan, if I hadn't accidentally been in that car accident, and Ryan hadn't just happened to go abroad to study, I would never have married you in the first place. Now, my leg has healed, the company has successfully gone public, and I'm pregnant with Ryan's child. You should give the CEO husband's position back to her and complete our little family of 3. It turned out that when she married me, she only saw me as a bailout. Everyone present thought I would be furious and lose control, waiting to see my humiliation. But I smiled and agreed, calmly signing the divorce papers. Sophia didn't know that the reason I could bring fortune to my wife was because I was bound to the fortune wife system. Once we divorced, everything I had exchanged for her using the system will be taken back in full. Watching Sophia Taylor on stage holding hands with Ryan Parker as they publicly announced it, my eyes went red and my nails dug hard into my palms. I never expected the big present Sophia mentioned would be this. Sophia had promised that after the company went public, she'd make time to give me a chubby baby boy to fulfill my parents Michael Johnson and Emily Johnson's wish to hold a grandchild, to make our whole family happy. To make her keep that promise, I worked overtime like crazy and drank at countless social events, vomiting blood more than once. Just yesterday, I closed a $1 billion deal and helped the company go public. Sophia smiled and said she'd give me a surprise at the celebration. Who knew it would be her going on stage to announce it with Ryan? In the banquet hall, my coworkers turned to me with looks eager for the show. Ethan even wanted to go on stage earlier. Does he really think Miss Taylor would announce it with him? What a toad dreaming of eating swan meat. Taylor is the one for Ryan. He's just an old fossil. What could he possibly compete with the young, handsome Ryan? Sophia remained a cold, indifferent observer in the face of these comments. I clenched my palm. My heart ached all over. Sophia and I had been married 6 years. To avoid gossip, she had kept our marriage secret and deliberately avoided any appearance of impropriety at work. She was especially strict with me professionally, insisting that at the company I only call her Miss Taylor, so everyone naturally assumed I was the one desperately pining after Sophia. I came to my senses, took a deep breath, and looked up at Sophia. Is this the big gift you gave me? Of course not. Sophia shook her head, smiling as she produced a gift box from behind her and handed it to me. This is the gift for you. Looking at the box in my hand, a flicker of anticipation rose in my chest. The build-up and release surprise was Sophia's usual trick. Once for my birthday, she deliberately stood me up to have a candlelit dinner with Ryan, only coming back when I was utterly dejected to celebrate with me, saying she did it to make the surprise bigger. On our honeymoon, she even gave Ryan my plane ticket, later messaging that she and Ryan had gone abroad to scout locations and make plans for me, that she'd already bought me a new ticket and I should hurry over to join her. I thought this time would be the same, but the moment I opened the box, I froze. Inside was, glaringly, divorce agreement. Everyone wore shocked faces. They hadn't expected Sophia and I to be married, but they quickly looked at me with disdain again. Married? So what? Isn't Miss Taylor still going to divorce him? I stubbornly looked at Sophia. Sophia, stop playing that tease, then sting routine, and hurry up and bring out the real gift. Ryan Parker beside her scoffed. Ethan, Sophia's teasing before was all a trick on you. You'd be the only fool to believe it. Then he turned to Sophia and said, Sophia, just telling the truth. It's pitiful that he's been kept in the dark. Sophia affectionately scratched Ryan's nose. Our Ryan is just kind. But when she turned to me, her tone went icy in an instant. Ethan, to be honest, if I hadn't had that accident and Ryan hadn't just happened to be studying abroad, if I didn't need someone to take care of me, and you weren't coincidentally the prosperous wife Saint Body, I wouldn't have married you at all. Now my legs are healed, the company has successfully gone public, and I'm pregnant with Ryan's child. You should return the position of president to her, and let the 3 of us be a family. Every word stabbed into my chest like a knife, leaving me gasping for breath. I never imagined Sophia married me just to use me as a tool. All these years her so-called raised them up by first putting them down was just an excuse to keep me working like a beast for her. It was clearly at Sophia's lowest point that I married her without hesitation. After we married, I quit my job to stay home, tirelessly caring for her paralysis, helping her turn over and feeding her, enduring her mercurial bad moods. Later, when she wanted to start a business, I put up all my savings to support her, took the heat for her at banquets, and stayed up all night revising plans. Now her legs are healed and the company is public. I thought we'd get our happy ending, but I never expected that the first thing she'd do after standing up would be to throw away the wheelchair and toss me, her tool, aside with it. All my sincere love was ultimately misplaced. Thinking about it now, it's ridiculous. Seeing I still didn't move, Sophia assumed I wanted compensation and pulled $200 from her bag, tossing at my face. Sign quickly. Consider this $200 your hardship fee. When I still didn't react, Ryan slid another $50 across. Too little. I'll give you another $50. That makes a nice $250. Everyone present burst out laughing. They all thought that being humiliated like this would make me lose my temper. But I calmly picked up the divorce agreement and, stroke by stroke, signed my name. Sophia froze for a moment, eyeing me suspiciously from head to toe. You're cooperating so easily. You wouldn't be hiding something, would you? She took the divorce agreement to inspect it carefully. After confirming there were no problems, she and Ryan exchanged a smile. I laughed too, because the moment I finished signing, the system's mechanical voice rang in my mind. Host, detected that you and Sophia Taylor have divorced. The healthy legs and brilliant career you exchanged for her are about to become invalid. Once the divorce certificate is in hand, you can reclaim everything you exchanged for Sophia, and your lifespan will be fully returned. Sophia didn't know that my prosperous wife trait came from a bound system. Her legs healed and her career succeeded because I converted my own lifespan into points and painstakingly exchanged them for her. Originally, if she had agreed today to have a child with me, the mission would have succeeded and the system would have returned my lifespan so we could grow old together. But Sophia ungratefully asked for a divorce. If she insists on courting disaster, then let her reap the consequences. I was too lazy to stay and watch Sophia and Ryan show off their affection, so I turned to leave, but Sophia called out to me. I thought she was having second thoughts, but the next second her words made me feel like I'd fallen into an ice cellar. Ethan, since the divorce agreement is already signed, let's go to the Civil Affairs office to complete the divorce procedures while we're at it, so we can get the divorce certificate sooner. I didn't expect Sophia to be so eager. We've been together for 6 years. Could she really discard all sense of being a couple so easily? I swallowed the bitterness in my heart and said coldly, let's do it tomorrow. I still have to go to the hospital for a follow-up and in 4. Not long ago, Sophia stole a big contract from a competitor, and they held a grudge. They deliberately drove into her on a road she had to take, trying to cripple her again. At the critical moment, I stepped forward to save Sophia, but I was hit and suffered cardiac vessel damage. Now I have to go to the hospital every day for checkups and nutrient infusions just to maintain basic vital signs. Sophia froze for a moment, then remembered. Seeing her expression soften, a trace of cruelty flashed across Ryan's eyes. He tugged at the hem of Sophia's clothes, his eyes red, and said, Sophia, Ethan was definitely using a retreat to advance tactic just now. He's not sincere about wanting a divorce. If that's the case, we should find time to terminate the baby in your belly. I don't want our child to be mocked as born out of an affair. He paused, then put on an injured expression. Sophia, I can't bear to see you torn up. Ethan saved your life. While I was abroad these years, he was the one by your side taking care of you. It's only natural you'd waver. Her acting was clumsy, but Sophia looked unbearably pained. The softness in her eyes was instantly replaced by coldness. Ethan, I didn't expect you to be so scheming, using a martyr act to soften me. You can go to the hospital anytime, but to avoid complications, today you must come with me to the Civil Affairs office to get a divorce. Even though I had long stopped expecting anything from Sophia, my heart still ached sharply. When I was diagnosed with damaged heart vessels, she had cried and promised she'd take care of me for a lifetime, but that lifetime lasted only 6 short years. She knew perfectly well that if I didn't go to the hospital for N4 to extend my life, I would be in danger. Yet to please Ryan, she insisted I divorce first. In her eyes, my life was worth less than a divorce. 6 years of true feelings had, after all, been fed to the dogs. But Sophia won't be smug for long. Everything she has now will soon vanish because of her own reckless actions. Although once I get the divorce certificate, I can strip Sophia of everything. I don't want to die before then. I grit my teeth and begged, Sophia, my follow-up can't be delayed. Can you, for the sake of me, having saved you before, handle the divorce tomorrow? Before Sophia could speak, Ryan interrupted me. Ethan, you've said so much. You're just unwilling to get a divorce, aren't you? Putting on that pitiful act to make everyone sympathize with you, to make me look like the unreasonable villain, so people will curse me. I just want to be with Sophia. Why do you keep blocking us? Even resorting to using the favor of saving her life to force her? If you won't let the three of us be a family, then I wish you well. I'm leaving, okay? Ryan made as if to leave, but after only a few steps he wailed, clutched his chest, and crouched down. Sophia immediately hurried over and, distressed, helped him up. Ryan, are you okay? Ryan deliberately spoke weakly. It's nothing, just an asthma attack. Sophia, although I really want to be with you, I don't want you to be accused of being ungrateful. Since Ethan refuses to divorce, maybe we should just forget it. Before he finished, Sophia interrupted coldly. Ryan, I'll go divorce Ethan right now. Saying that, she ordered the bodyguards to force me into the car and took me to the Civil Affairs Bureau against my will. In the car, because the fours still hadn't been hung, my heart was already starting to ache. Just then, the doctor messaged me, urging me to come back for a recheck. Before I could reply, Sophia snatched my phone and threw it out the window. Ethan, get the divorce done quickly and you can go to the hospital sooner. I advise you to cooperate obediently, or the one who suffers will be you. Helpless, I could only nod, while secretly vowing in my heart, once I have the divorce certificate in hand, I'll make them pay for what they did today. Because we had already signed the divorce papers, the whole process went smoothly. The clerk told us we could come pick up the divorce certificate in 2 days. At that, the weight lifted from Sophia and Ryan's shoulders. But I felt a stabbing pain in my chest, and my face turned deathly pale. Seeing my condition, Sophia uncharacteristically said, I'll drive you to the hospital. I coldly brushed her hand away. No need. You should stay with Ryan. We're divorced now. We're strangers. I can go by myself. After snapping that, I ignored Sophia's ashen face and took a taxi to the hospital. After the 4, I finally felt alive again. Later, I took a taxi home and started packing. I set fire to the 99 handwritten love letters in the drawer that I had written for Sophia and tore down the giant photos from our honeymoon phase off the wall and threw them into the trash. I had just finished packing when Ryan sent me a private message. Ethan, don't think I don't know you're trying to play the victim for sympathy to win Sophia back. I'm warning you to abandon that idea. Sophia's heart belongs to me. She never loved you. During the 6 years you were married, even when I was abroad, Sophia kept in touch with me, sometimes using business trips as an excuse to fly overseas and meet me. She loves me to the bone. What could you possibly compete with me for? Messages from Ryan kept coming one after another, while my heart grew colder inch by inch. I had hoped Sophia still had some feelings for me, but I hadn't expected she'd betrayed me long ago. In the past, seeing this would have sent me into a breakdown in tears, but now I merely replied perfunctorily. I wish you both a long life together. Ryan, thinking I was deliberately snubbing him, angrily sent a voice message. Ethan, are you provoking me on purpose? Just wait. I'll make you see that Sophia's choice was the right one. I couldn't be bothered to reply, grabbed my suitcase, and headed for the door. But to my surprise, as soon as I opened it, I ran straight into Sophia, who had returned in a hurry. I was taken aback. I hadn't expected Sophia, who had been with Ryan, to come back so suddenly. In the past, when she spent time with Ryan, she usually didn't return until next day. She had always used social engagements as an excuse. Now I realized that her countless nights out before had been spent with Ryan. Before I could make sense of it, Sophia's cold accusation came to my ears. Ethan, I only divorced you, and you go online to slander Ryan for plagiarism? You're truly vicious. What? I was completely baffled. Sophia, furious, snatched up her phone and threw it at me. Don't play dumb. Look for yourself. I couldn't dodge in time. The phone hit my nose, and blood instantly flowed from 2 streams. I awkwardly wiped the blood away, grimacing as I picked up the phone to check. The screen showed a post whose author exposed that the patent Ryan published was actually copied from me, even attaching the draft sketches of my earlier patent design as evidence. As soon as the post went up, It caused an uproar online, with the comment section filled with people hurling insults at Ryan. But I didn't post that at all. Sophia, I didn't send that. I've been at home packing my things. Sophia looked unconvinced. You caused a scene over this before. If it wasn't you, then who else could it be? 3 years ago, with Sophia backing him, Ryan took advantage of me being distracted to steal my patent sketches, publish them first, and claim my patent as his own. Afterwards, he even turned the tables at a meeting, accusing me of plagiarizing him. I wanted Sophia to speak up for me and prove my innocence, but even though she knew the truth, she sided with Ryan and pinned the plagiarism charge on me. Furious, I confronted her, and she PUA'd me. It's just a patent. Since Ryan published first, accept the blame. Why make a fuss? If this blows up, how will it help you or the company? If you refuse to admit it, don't blame me for divorcing you. In the end, I was forced to take the blame. So now, naturally, Sophia assumes this post was made by me to get back at Ryan. Only after considering Ryan's earlier messages did I realize this was his setup, and I hurried to explain, Sophia, Ryan posted that. He's trying to frame me. Enough. I know exactly what kind of person Ryan is, so stop spreading lies and slandering him. Sophia gave me no chance to explain, pulled a document from her bag, and threw it in front of me, saying coldly, sign it. On the document were the 3 large characters confession of guilt. I never expected that after so many years, Sophia would once again ask me to take the blame for Ryan, to admit that I was the one who plagiarized, and that the post was something I deliberately posted out of jealousy of Ryan to spread rumors. In the past, because I love Sophia, I was forced to compromise. But now, I decisively tossed the confession aside. I won't admit to something I didn't do. Sophia only sneered, took out her phone, and placed a video call to the bodyguard. On the screen, my parents, Michael Johnson and Emily Johnson, were tied to a drop ride, the cold wind howling past. They looked as pale as death and were trembling all over. Sophia threatened casually, if you don't sign, your parents will suffer. If I remember correctly, they're both afraid of heights, right? Your mother even had a stroke, I think. If I have someone press the switch, do you think they can handle that kind of shock? Sophia, how could you treat my parents like this? I shouted, my eyes reddening. My parents had always been kind to her. When they learned Sophia was ill, my mother Emily went to see a traditional doctor to get herbs and tirelessly went into Los Angeles to brew medicine and help her recuperate. My father Michael often sent her a pile of farm eggs to help strengthen her. And now, she repays kindness with ingratitude, threatening my parents' lives to force me to confess. Ethan, you have 10 seconds to decide. 10, 9. Sophia counted down with an indifferent expression. When she reached 2, I nodded in humiliation and, with tears in my eyes, signed my name. I've signed it. Release my parents. After Sophia put away the confession, she instructed the bodyguards to release my parents. When she left, I immediately called them to calm them down, bought them tickets to Los Angeles, and planned to bring them to live with me. In 2 days, when the divorce certificate was in my hands, I would take everything back and make Sophia pay. After that, I moved out and rented a place. Just as I was settling my luggage, Sophia posted my confession online. With her twisting of facts, Ryan became the victim, and I was cast as the vicious schemer. Netizens quickly turned on me, cursing that I would die a miserable death. While I was being cyberbullied, Sophia and Ryan were busy going on dates. They rode the Ferris wheel at an amusement park, had candlelit dinners at 7-star restaurants, and even planned a press conference to announce things publicly in 2 days. I saw all of this on Ryan's Moments. Rather than feeling sad, I oddly felt a bit expectant. After all, the higher you jump, the worse and more painful the fall. 2 days later, Sophia and I went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to collect our divorce certificate. No sooner had we gotten it than Sophia immediately went with Ryan to get their marriage certificate, then rushed to the company to hold a press conference announcing it. I followed them, ready to watch the spectacle. By the time I arrived, I saw Sophia arm in arm with Ryan, showing their marriage certificate to the cameras with a sweet smile. When she saw me, Sophia froze for a moment, then quickly dragged me aside. What are you doing here? Before I could speak, Ryan sneered from the side. Sophia, do you even need to ask? He obviously followed us on purpose. Ethan, you stalked us on purpose. What? Are you trying to cause trouble at the press conference and spread rumors that I plagiarized again? At his provocation, Sophia's face immediately went cold. With me here, don't think you can lay a finger on Ryan. We're the bodyguards. Throw this stinking beggar out of here. No sooner had she finished than the bodyguards closed in around me, about to grab and drag me away. I nimbly dodged and sneered. Sophia, you're overthinking. I'm just here to watch the show. Sophia asked suspiciously. What do you mean? I didn't answer directly. I just curled my lips and silently mouthed. System, revoke Sophia's career and legs. Okay, in 3 seconds, Sophia Taylor's career and legs will be completely disabled. I synced with the system and counted down. 3, 2. Sophia looked at me displeased. Ethan, what are you muttering? The moment the count reached 1, Sophia's assistant Daniel White burst in looking panicked. Miss Taylor, it's bad. The company is in big trouble. Those 108 partners, for some reason, suddenly all want to terminate their contracts, and the company's stock is plummeting like it's cursed. At this rate, the company might go bankrupt. Sophia's face instantly turned pale. What did you say? Before she finished speaking, her legs went weak. The next second, she felt completely drained of strength and fell straight down toward the stage. Sophia tumbled down the steps and fell hard in front of everyone. Her forehead and knees were scraped and bleeding, her hair a mess like a bird's nest, and she looked utterly disheveled. The reporters, eager for a spectacle, trained their cameras on her and snapped away. Ryan had just publicly announced their relationship a moment before, and the next moment Sophia was humiliated in public. His face flushed with embarrassment as he hurried to explain. Sophia was just so worried about the company, she lost her balance and fell. Sorry for the embarrassment. Then he turned to Sophia and said, Sophia, get up quickly, so many people are watching. This is so humiliating. The next second, Sophia's face suddenly went deathly pale. Ryan, I can't get up. My legs, I don't know why, have suddenly lost feeling. This sensation, it's exactly the same as when I was paralyzed in the car accident. A flash of impatience passed through Ryan's eyes, but he still forced a smile to reassure her. Sophia, you must have stood too long and your legs fell asleep. Rest a bit and you'll be fine. No sooner had he finished speaking than assistant Daniel hurried up. Miss Taylor, now is definitely not the time to rest. Please come back to the office with me and take charge. Only then did Sophia refocus on company matters. Daniel, what on earth is going on? The company has been doing well all along, and in these few years of starting up there have never been any mishaps. At one point it even became an industry legend. How could something go wrong out of the blue? Sophia didn't know that her company's smooth success over the years was all because of me. It was my life that bought luck for her and the company. At that moment, a reporter in the crowd suddenly spoke up. I heard that Sophia's original husband wasn't Ryan at all, but Ethan Johnson, who was born with the sacred wife-bringing good fortune body. They were secretly married for 6 years, but after the company went public, Sophia tossed Ethan aside, divorced him, and then publicly announced her relationship with Ryan. As soon as she divorced Ethan, the company ran into trouble and she herself suddenly collapsed. Isn't it possible that the reason Sophia and the company were so lucky before was all because of Ethan's wife-bringing good fortune body? When the reporter said this, the other reporters immediately started discussing it. I always thought Ethan's innate wife-bringing good fortune body was just a rumor. Now it seems there's actually some mysticism to it. But Sophia brought it on herself. Who told her to kill the donkey after it had done the work? A man who's lost his wife deserves to be penniless. But you're saying Ryan is the homewrecker? Scumbag men and trashy women all deserve to die. The crowd's accusations left Ryan so embarrassed his face flushed. He glared at me viciously. What innately blessed wife-bringing body. This is a scientific society now. Ethan, stop playing mystic tricks. I think that reporter was planted by you to go along with the act. All of this today was staged by you on purpose. You did all this just to ruin me and Sophia, didn't you? He paused, then put on a wronged look, but clearly Sophia and I were the real couple. If you hadn't swooped in and stolen her away, breaking us up back then, Sophia and I would have been together long ago. Sophia chimed in from the side. Don't be fooled by Ethan, everyone. Ethan is the homewrecker. My legs are getting better because I diligently do rehab every day. The company grew because I worked twice as hard. What does any of that have to do with Ethan? With their back and forth, public opinion began to waver. Sophia's gaze toward me turned icy. But Ethan, although I don't believe in that mystic nonsense, I know the company's trouble can't be separated from you. What exactly did you do to the company? I advise you to tell the truth. Otherwise, when I find out, Don't blame me for throwing sentiment aside and sending you to jail. Facing Sophia's threat, I gave a cold laugh, but I didn't do anything. If you want to investigate, go ahead. But you should worry about yourself first. Haven't you noticed that your legs have completely lost feeling? Being accused of hiding something, Sophia's face went pale for a moment, but she still protested. It's just my leg is numb. Stop cursing me. To prove to everyone that her leg was fine, Sophia forced herself to try to stand up. There was a crisp cracking sound, and the next second her leg bent a full 180 degrees, and she collapsed to the ground again. Everyone rushed Sophia to the hospital. The reporters and I followed, ready to watch the show. The test results came out quickly. After reading the report, Sophia's face drained of color, and she stood there stunned. I'm paralyzed. How was that possible? Sophia screamed in disbelief. I know, this report must be wrong. I demand a retest. But no matter how many tests Sophia underwent, the results were the same. Strangely, the doctors couldn't find the cause of her paralysis. Reporters frantically took photos and videos and uploaded them online. Before long, netizens all knew that after divorcing me, this wife-blessing saint body Sophia had not only suddenly become paralyzed, but her company was also on the brink of bankruptcy, and they launched heated discussions. One incident might be a coincidence, but two can't both be coincidences, right? Whether it's coincidence or not, Sophia brought this on herself. If it weren't for Ethan, she and the company wouldn't be in this state at all. A scumbag like her deserves to be sent to the 18th level of hell. When Sophia saw the netizens' comments, her face turned extremely ugly. She chased the reporters away and sat back on the hospital bed in utter defeat. But this was all self-inflicted. If she hadn't been ungrateful and insisted on divorcing me, she could have kept her brilliant career, her health, and even a happy marriage. She had destroyed everything she once had with her own hands. I watched coldly from the side, feeling an indescribable pleasure in my heart. Seeing Sophia's face turn bad, Ryan spoke up to comfort her. Sophia, no matter what you become, I'll love you. Don't get too excited. After all, there's still our child in your belly. But the flash of disgust in his eyes betrayed what he really thought. I knew from the start that Ryan wasn't a good man. He approached Sophia with ulterior motives. When Sophia was paralyzed after the car accident, he immediately abandoned her and went abroad with a wealthy woman. Later he returned because that rich woman dumped him. By then Sophia's legs had healed and she'd founded a company, so he reapproached her to try to seize her assets. I told Sophia more than once about Ryan's intentions, but she thought I was jealous of Ryan and deliberately spreading rumors. Even after 6 years of marriage, she never trusted me, and after using me, she kicked me aside to make way for Ryan. If she's unkind, she shouldn't blame me for being unjust. So I withdrew everything and watched her being used by Ryan without warning her. Since she loves Ryan so much, surely if he abandons her again, she can tolerate and accept it, right? After reclaiming Sophia's career and her legs, the system also returned my lifespan, and my body felt noticeably better. Having seen enough drama, I turned to leave, but Ryan blocked my way and said coldly, "You wouldn't have cast some kind of curse on Sophia, would you? Otherwise, why?" Right after your countdown finished, did Sophia's company suddenly get into trouble and she was diagnosed as paralyzed? Hearing Ryan say that, Sophia was also convinced I was behind it. Her expression rapidly darkened. "Ethan, what exactly did you do to me and my company? If you don't tell the truth, I'll have no choice but to have my people strap your parents back onto the drop tower." I sneered inwardly. Sophia didn't know that I had already brought my parents to live with me, so she couldn't threaten me at all. But since she asked, I wasn't going to keep hiding it. I wanted to see how she'd react when she learned the truth. "Sophia, to be honest, I was bound to the prosperous wife system. My innate prosperous wife saint body is real. Your leg's miraculous recovery and the smooth success of your business were all my doing. The good fortune you and your company enjoyed was bought with my own lifespan. But there's one condition. You can't divorce me. Once divorced, I have the right to take everything back. But of course you insisted on destroying yourself, so I took back everything I once exchanged for you." After I finished speaking, Sophia stood there stunned, her face full of shock, and it took her a long while to accept the fact. I thought that once she learned the truth, she'd regret her decision to divorce me. But instead of being grateful, she frowned and complained, "Why didn't you tell me about something so important earlier? And by your account, everything you exchanged for me wasn't forcibly taken back by the system. The right to reclaim them was in your hands." Why did you take everything back? You know very well that whether it's my leg or the company, they're both very important to me. How could you be so cold and heartless, standing by and watching me lose everything? Since you exchanged those things for me, it's like you gave them to me. Once something is given, how can it be reclaimed? I order you to give my leg and my career back at once. I laughed at Sophia's righteous attitude. Sophia, we're divorced. Things that belong to me, I naturally have the right to take back. Sophia was stunned for a moment, then changed her wording. Ethan, I was married to you for 6 years and spent 6 years of my youth on you. You owe me compensation. Consider these things as compensation for the years of my youth you've taken. I shot back on the spot. Sophia, if anyone should compensate, it should be you. Don't forget, I not only saved your life, I healed your legs and helped you start a company. And how did you treat me? You betrayed me during our marriage, then discarded me when you succeeded. After everything you did to me, why would you expect me to help you like before? Sophia, I'm no longer the Ethan you used to manipulate. Seeing that force wouldn't work, Sophia played the emotional card. She grabbed my hand and softened her tone. Ethan, I was wrong in the past, and I apologize. But there's a child in my womb. I can't let the child be born to a disabled mother and be ridiculed. Ethan, if you could save me the first time, you can surely save me the second time, right? I know you're angry about the divorce because of me, but I really love Ryan. You know it's the unloved who are the other woman. Forced relationships aren't sweet. For the sake of our past, I'm begging you. Help me one last time, please. I recoiled my hand with a look of disgust. We're divorced. What kind of feelings do we still have? Seeing I wouldn't budge, Sophia's face went dark. Pointing at my nose, she snapped. Ethan, you're truly cold and heartless. Fine, if you won't save her, then forget it. I don't have to beg you to. Besides, Ryan said he won't abandon me easily. The company's trouble is only temporary. I've at least built up 6 years of capital and work experience. Under my leadership, the company certainly won't go bankrupt so easily. But since we're divorced, there's no reason for you to stay in the company. I'll call HR in a moment and have them fire you. The company doesn't need an employee like you who only cares about yourself and is heartless and ungrateful. Sophia knew I had poured half my efforts into the company and tried to threaten me into backing down by firing me. Ryan took the chance to fan the flames. Ethan, the job market is so bad right now. If you leave the company, what good job will you find? I advise you not to joke with your future. If you let Sophia's leg heal and help Taylor Corporation out of this crisis, even though you and Sophia are divorced, Sophia and I can let you stay with the company. I cut him off coldly before he could finish. No need to make things so complicated. The next second, Sophia received my online resignation notice. What? You're resigning? Sophia stood stunned, clearly not expecting someone like me, who always took work seriously, to submit a resignation. She knew very well that her last lever over me was gone. A flash of regret crossed her eyes, but her pride would never make her bow to me. In the end, Sophia spitefully approved my application. Ethan, don't regret this. Regret? Impossible, I said, then left the hospital without looking back. I had barely stepped out of the hospital doors when I took out my phone and dialed a long dormant number. Olivia, I quit. You once said that if I ever lost my job, I could come to you. Does that still stand? Olivia Adams, my childhood friend. She had always recognized my abilities and had repeatedly offered me opportunities before with salaries and benefits 3 times what Sophia gave me. But to stay by Sophia's side, I turned her down time and again. She'd called me a lovesick idiot more than once, saying I'd regret it someday, and that if that day ever came, I should come to her. The doors of Adams Corporation would always be open for me. At the time, I swore up and down that Sophia and I were blissfully in love, and that day would never come. I never expected Olivia's words to become a prophecy. Hearing me, Olivia's voice on the other end grew excited. You mean it? I've always wanted to recruit someone like you, but why would you suddenly quit when things were fine? And if you come to my company, will Sophia be okay with that? I forced a bitter smile. Whether she agrees or not doesn't matter anymore. We're already divorced. I told Olivia everything that had happened recently. After hearing about my situation, she angrily defended me, berating Sophia on the phone for a full hour, then decisively arranged to meet me in person and sign me onto the employment contract. The next day, I started at Adams Corporation. Although Olivia looked after me, because Sophia had posted my confession online, my colleagues treated me as a plagiarist, often whispering about me behind my back, deliberately isolating and bullying me. I had long since gotten used to the cold remarks and didn't take them hard. But Olivia couldn't stand it. Once when colleagues targeted me again, she directly stood in front of me and coldly said, "You don't know the truth, so how can you casually follow the crowd and judge someone? Ethan is someone I hired. I have vetted his character and abilities. Those online posts are slander. He didn't plagiarize. On the contrary, that Ryan Parker plagiarized his patent. I want this company to be united. If anyone dares to slander Ethan again, don't blame me for firing them." Olivia defending me warmed my heart. Back at Taylor Corporation, I was often mocked by coworkers too, but Sophia only watched with indifference and told me to consider the bigger picture and be patient. She always said that if she intervened to defend me, it would undermine company policy and be bad for management in the long run. Looking back now, she simply didn't love me, so she never cared about my feelings. Since then, my colleagues stopped making things difficult for me. To thank Olivia, I worked like crazy. Within half a month of joining, I developed a new patent that made Adams Corporation a fortune. Olivia promoted me and gave me a raise, and my colleagues were thoroughly convinced of my abilities, completely changing their opinion of me. My career flourished, and my life became peaceful and comfortable. During this time, I didn't pay special attention to Sophia and Taylor Corporation, but they often made the headlines. At first, the headlines were all negative, and I thought Taylor Corporation would soon go bankrupt, but to my surprise, not long after, the company miraculously revived. Not only did the stock recover, the previously missing cash flow was replenished overnight, and they even landed a number of new partnerships. In response, Sophia and Ryan went crazy, sending me private messages to show off. "Ethan, ever since Ryan became deputy director, the company has come back to life. The company can run just fine without you. You're probably regretting it now, aren't you? Even if you come back crying and begging me, it's too late." I remained unmoved, convinced the matter wasn't that simple. I investigated quietly and indeed found something fishy, but I didn't plan to tell Sophia the truth. I was waiting to watch her reap what she had sown. I didn't expect, however, that day would come so quickly. A week later, Olivia asked me to attend a bidding meeting with her as a company representative. At the venue, she busied herself chatting with partners and told me to find a seat first. Unexpectedly, while I was looking for a seat, I ran into Sophia and Ryan. They had come to the bidding meeting as well. At that moment, Sophia and Ryan were wearing matching evening outfits. Sophia sat in a wheelchair being pushed in by Ryan. The moment they entered, they instantly drew everyone's attention. "This must be Miss Taylor from Taylor Corporation and Deputy Director Parker, right? They really make a perfect match." "Yeah, Miss Taylor is paralyzed, yet Deputy Director Parker has stayed by her side through it all. That's true love. I heard that after Deputy Director Parker took office, he turned things around and saved the company from the brink of bankruptcy. Compared to Ethan, Deputy Director Parker is the real wife-blessing saint." Faced with everyone's praise, Sophia and Ryan wore smug expressions. When Sophia saw me, her face stiffened for a moment. "Ethan, what are you doing here? You didn't follow me here on purpose, did you?" Ryan took the opportunity to go along. "Sophia, he must have been unable to find a job and regretted it. So he came here to beg for your forgiveness." At that, Sophia looked disdainful. "Weren't you so tough back then? How could you regret it so quickly?" "Too bad. It's too late to regret now. But if you're willing to fix my leg, I might consider giving you a job cleaning toilets." Before she finished, I cut in coldly. "Sophia, don't flatter yourself. I'm here as a representative of Adams Corporation to attend the bidding meeting." Ryan and Sophia looked incredulous. "Ethan, if you're going to lie, at least plan it out. Adams Corporation is an industry leader. How could they possibly want you? You really think we're idiots? Security, throw this liar who can't stop lying out of here." Sophia called the security and tried to kick me out. At that moment, a clear female voice came from behind. "Hands off my people." I turned and saw Olivia. She hurried over to my side and said coldly to Sophia and Ryan, "Open your eyes and look closely. Ethan is a director at Adams Corporation, our company's representative." Hearing this, the security guards bowed repeatedly and apologized to me, afraid of offending me. Sophia stared in shock, clearly not expecting that I had not only found a job, but had joined Adams Corporation. Ryan ground his teeth in hatred, his eyes full of unwillingness and jealousy. Olivia and I ignored them and found seats. The bidding meeting began quickly. I didn't want any more involvement with Sophia, but fate had other plans. We both chose the same partner and submitted our proposals at the same time. Mr. David Lee took my proposal without hesitation and decided on the spot to work with me, while Sophia's proposal was casually tossed aside. Sophia was so angry her face turned green. Ryan pointed at me and angrily said to David, "Mr. Lee, Ethan is a plagiarist. His previous patents were all copied from me. A person with such character is a huge risk to work with. Please think twice." At those words, everyone in the venue shot me disdainful looks. In response to Ryan's slander, David only gave a cold smile, pulled up the patent sketches I had previously saved on his phone, and publicly vouched for me. "Olivia told me long ago what kind of person Ethan is. These are Ethan's original design sketches. The one who copied is Ryan, not Ethan." After the evidence came to light, public opinion instantly reversed. Those who had previously supported Sophia and Ryan began to attack them. Sophia looked embarrassed for a moment, but still tried to argue. "Mr. Lee, even so, you can't subjectively reject our company's proposal, can you? Personal mistakes shouldn't be elevated to the company, yet you won't even give us a chance. Did you already have Ethan decided? It's so unfair to other competitors." Seeing Sophia try and smear things again, I sneered and interrupted. "Sophia, Mr. David didn't have an inside pick, and there was no rigging at the bidding meeting. You lost because no one wants to work with a company that's about to explode." Sophia asked, puzzled. "What do you mean about to explode?" I took out my phone, pulled up the evidence I collected, and said deliberately, "During this time, Ryan has been cooking the books behind your back. Taylor Corporation looks prosperous, but in reality, it's been running a deficit for a long time. The money Ryan used to plug the funding gaps came from high-interest loans. Who would dare cooperate with a company that could blow up at any moment?" Sophia snatched my phone and flipped through it. Her expression visibly grew grave. Seeing this, Ryan sensed trouble, glared at me fiercely, and hurriedly explained to Sophia, "Sophia, Ethan hates me because I took you away. These images were surely fabricated by him. He's trying to frame me. He's trying to drive a wedge between us, so don't fall for it." Before he finished, a group of burly men suddenly rushed into the venue, brandishing kitchen knives, and shouted at Ryan like demons. "Ryan Parker, you bastard. We were promised repayment today, but the money hasn't arrived. You're deliberately stalling us, aren't you? Today you'll either pay the $500 million you owe, or you'll lose a hand." Hearing the men, Sophia looked at Ryan with disappointment. "So, everything Ethan said is true? Not only did you cook the books, but you also borrowed from loan sharks." Before Sophia could continue questioning, Ryan suddenly reached out and shoved, pushing Sophia and her wheelchair straight out. "She's my wife and the CEO of Taylor Corporation. I have no money. If you want repayment, go ask her." Sophia looked at Ryan in disbelief. "Ryan, how could you betray me? We're married. I love you so much. How can you do this to me?" Ryan, however, shot back with righteous certainty. "So what if we're married? Since ancient times, married birds share the same tree. But when disaster strikes, they fly their own ways. You keep saying you love me. So what if I take the blame for you? Is your love all just words?" Sophia was left speechless by his retort. She loved Ryan, but only as long as it didn't harm her own interests. Once her interests were touched, she naturally would not be pleased. "Ryan, don't forget we're married. Debts must be shared. You think you can abandon me and look out for yourself? No way." Ryan smiled and pulled a divorce agreement signed by Sophia from his pocket. "If I want to, I can end this relationship at any time." Sophia's pupils constricted. "When did you get me to sign that?" "1 week ago, the time you were drunk." Only then did Sophia realize she had been set up. Gritting her teeth, she cursed, "Ryan, you selfish, cold-blooded, despicable man. You trapped me." She slapped Ryan hard and, disregarding her dignity, spat at him. Ryan, unwilling to be outdone, slapped her back. While everyone was distracted, he kicked Sophia's wheelchair over and ran off without looking back. By the time people reacted, Ryan was already gone. The creditors surrounded Sophia, demanding money from her. When they learned Sophia couldn't pay either, they beat her with fists and kicks, leaving her wailing in pain. Sophia frantically begged me for help, but I remained unmoved, turned away, and went with David to another place to discuss partnership details. After that day, I successfully secured the partnership. Because of this deal, Adams Corporation rose into the industry's top 3, and its prospects looked very promising. Sophia fared far worse. It said that after the bidding meeting, she had one of her hands cut off by the creditors, and she lost the baby she was carrying. When she returned to the company, she discovered Ryan had already taken all the savings and run. Taylor Corporation immediately declared bankruptcy, leaving Sophia heavily indebted, hounded by collectors every day, living a life worse than death. She messaged and called me, wildly confessing and admitting her mistakes, begging me to get back together. Ethan, I was wrong. I shouldn't have trusted that bastard Ryan, and I shouldn't have hurt you over and over for him. I only now realize that you were the one who treated me best. Now the baby is gone. The company has gone bankrupt. I have nothing left. Only you. Ethan, I know I was wrong and I've been punished. Give me one more chance. Let's remarry and start over, okay? This time, I will definitely love you properly. I replied coldly. Sophia, from the moment you used me and discarded me, there was no going back for us. You coming back to me now isn't because you know you were wrong. It's because you're afraid and you want me to keep being the one who cleans up your mess. Too bad. I don't go back for what's been discarded, and I won't be a fool anymore. Go find your Ryan. After rebuking her, I immediately blocked and deleted her. After that, Sophia tried to find me in person a few times. Each time I called the police and had them take her away. For a long time after that, Sophia didn't bother me again. The next time I heard about her was a month later. Apparently, she couldn't stand that life and went after Ryan with sulfuric acid. Seeing Ryan using her money to cavort in private rooms, drunk on luxury and surrounded by people, she flew into a rage and hurled the acid at him, corroding him to death. Sophia herself lost the will to live and ran her head into a wall, killing herself on the spot. When news of their deaths reached me, I had just accepted Olivia's confession and entered into a relationship with her. My brand new future was only just beginning.